ahead, go, because I can't wait to hear yours. I'm excited. We've all been waiting for this. So at number 10 for me, I got Matthew Stafford. At number 9, I got Matt Ryan. At number 8, Deshaun Watson. At number 7, I got Big Ben. At number 6, I got Drew Brees. At number 5, Tom Brady. At number 4, Lamar Jackson. At number 3, Aaron Rodgers. At number 2, Russell Wilson. And at number 1, Patrick Mahomes. Let's go, Deke. Drum roll.
I gotta make a change because I forgot about Deshaun Watson here. To be honest with you, I forgot about him. Well,
maybe that. No. Maybe that's a good thing.
No, it's not, because I would definitely have him in my top 10. I just forgot about him. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I definitely did.
See, I figured if you don't remember him, then he's not unforgettable.
No. He's definitely in my top 10.
Unforgettable.
Do I take Cam out of my top 10 then? Is that what it is?
That's why, darling, it's incredible.
I would, I'd probably put him over this guy. All right, so I'm good. I'm good on it. I don't want to take Cam off, man. But you know what? It's just gonna have to happen.
Darling, it's incredible.
It's either Stafford or Cam for the 10 spot.
I think that I'm.
That's a tough one because Stafford went off until he got hurt last year. Cam was hurt last year, but I think Cam's going to go off this year.
Okay.
I think Stafford's got the potential.
I'm not going to lie. Side note, I get so hyped when I get to see Cam Newton, like when they're showing him in the Patriots stuff. Yeah, he's like dancing and stuff. I'm like, yo, he's back. It gets me so hyped, bro. So hyped.
Right. I do think Cam's going to have a good year with the Patriots, so I'm going to put him at 10. I'm putting him at 10.
Cam at 10.
That's a tough one. You had Stafford at 10, right?
Yes, correct.
We both, so 10, 11, we're both there. Wait, where do we... Oh, I know who you don't have in there.
All right, let's go. Here we go.
I know you don't have in there. All right. They're in the same range between like 8 and 9. But I'll get to my players now.
I was like, come on, man. You stalling. Dang.
Okay. Cam at 10.
Okay.
Carson Wentz at 9. Deshaun Watson at 8. Mm-hmm. Man, I can't believe you had this dude as high as you do. I didn't think you were as big of a fan, but wow. I got Aaron Rodgers at 7. And any of my 7, this isn't a knock on any of them because I think the 7 is in the top tier.
Yeah,
I think the 7
it sounds good. But the fact you just said Aaron at 7, that already lets me know what your list is about to be on.
What do you mean?
Go ahead. Continue, though. Continue.
There's 6 other players that are awesome ahead of him.
Exactly. Continue.
All right. Breeze at 6.
Uh-huh.
Lamar at 5.
Okay.
Brady at 4.
Uh-huh.
Wilson has edged Brady here in my rankings. It took him a little bit. Brady's still top 5. He's still top 5.
Okay.
Wilson is at 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think I mentioned this on the one podcast. We were talking about Wilson. I told you I have him in my top 3. I told you he's in my top 3. What's so funny?
I'm just go ahead. You good.
I got Mahomes. Good year last year. Super Bowl champ at 2.
Super Bowl MVP last year.
And I got number 7 at 1. Big year ahead, and I want to be ahead of the curve and let people know. That's all. I'm trying to warn people that a big year's ahead.
Okay, all right.
That Ben is going to take over the league, MVP. And you know what? I got a little more fuel to the fire too. Recently, there was a documentary that dropped. I didn't watch it yet.
What?
I didn't watch it yet. I didn't watch it yet.
I'm not gonna lie, it's tight.
That's all. That's what I've heard.
Tight,
it looks tight too. It's one of those things. I really gotta focus, lock in,
it is tight.
Take 20 minutes and
Actually, you only need 14.
It's 14.
It's 14, yeah, but it's fire. God, because it's like a docu-series, so that was the first episode. I'm not sure how many episodes it is total, but that was the first one. Dude, you trust me, I was hyped watching it. I know you gonna go crazy.
I know it's gonna be sick. Yeah. So what I'm saying with Ben, though, a little more fuel to the fire. The headlines I was seeing, had a bum elbow for almost all of his career here. Now he finally has surgery, so it's that's another reason he's going to be even better than ever. All the reasons we've talked about throughout all of our podcasts up to this point. 2018 had a really awesome year. Had to take a step back this year, really analyze things, take a deep breath. Now he's more motivated than ever, more healthy than ever. And I just don't really expect a step back from him. If anything, like I said, I expect taking over the league and dominating. So that's why Ben is number 1 on my 2020 quarterbacks list.
So you expect Pat Mahomes and Russell Wilson to take a big step back?
No, not at all.
You sure?
I think Ben's going to be that good. But you don't win Super Bowls every year. It's not like that simple. Those two dudes they're 2 and 3 on my list. They're going to be awesome. So Like I said,
I was trying to figure out why Ben was ahead of him. That's why I said, are they going to take a step back? Because I thought they had made a clear gap between them and Ben.
I'm telling you right now, Ben's gonna have a really big year. So that's why. We're really close to the year coming up in 2020. So I'm just trying to tell everyone what's about to happen.
So that's why I'm asking. If Ben is gonna have a really good year, you have to be implying that Mahomes is gonna take a very, very
not a very, very step back. No.
What are you talking?
He's gonna have a great year.
Think about his first year as a full starter. He passed 5,000 yards.
He's not taking either of those
and he had tied the QB record with Peyton for touchdown passes. Went to the AFC Championship game. Then the next year,
he's great, dude.
Then the next year, he wins Super Bowl, gets Super Bowl MVP. So I'm just like, when is he coming back down to earth?
Nah, what do you mean?
So Ben's gonna throw for like 5,500 passing yards, 60 touchdowns.
He's gonna have a big year. Like I said, I'm putting out a warning. I'm putting out a public service announcement here that it's gonna be a big year for Ben.
Oh, okay.
That's all. Like I said, the top 7.
Somebody got to be taking a step back. That's all I'm saying, man.
Not really.
Somebody got to take a step
back. The top 7 are really good quarterbacks. I like all those quarterbacks.
It's levels, though. It's levels. We can all agree it's levels to this thing. Especially whether you're talking, what did you hit me with the other day? You said we're talking recent, we're talking career span, and we're talking projections. So you're telling me you're projecting that Ben is going to have a better season than Patrick Mahomes, than Russell Wilson, than Aaron Rodgers.
You know what? I am. If I got him at my number 1, and I'm going with that. Yeah, for sure.
So this is more projection than not longevity, not short term, not
like I
in
said,
the right now.
2018, he had an awesome year. He was like number 3 or 4 in QBR, led the league in passing yards, over 30 passing touchdowns. So yeah, I think he's always. I had him at 1 last year. Obviously, I'm gonna have one every year. I'm just being straight up with you, but like. Yeah, like he had. Where'd you have you had him in your top 3, right? Whenever we did these lists last year, coming off of 18,
I think so. Yeah. Because in 18 he balled out, but in 18 he still wasn't better than Mahomes. The numbers speak for itself. The MVP speaks for itself. The team success speaks for itself. So which one are we going off of here? Are we going off of passing just regular QB stats?
I think.
What are we going off of, man? Are we going off of team stats?
I think I was doing both projections there, and Mahomes was young still. It's like Carson Wentz had that really good year. We see how many quarterbacks have a really good year. It's like. Can we sustain
so then in 2019, he did the same thing.
I'm a Mahomes fan, dude. You're speaking to the choir here. I got nothing against him.
So I'm just trying to figure out what do we, because he's a lot younger too, right? You talk about how when we do some of the other rankings, you're like, well, this guy's younger, this guy's older, so I like the younger guy. I'm just trying to figure out
Ben's throwing
what's going
back
on
the
here.
Clock, dude.
He's throwing back the clock.
5 years.
Back the clock. Okay.
5 years.
So
the arm's healthy.
So he's 38.
The arm's healthy, leaner than ever.
Talking about he's 38,
talking about
right?
Super Bowl. So like
he's 38, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Take away 5 years. How old is he?
That's 33.
How old is Mahomes?
Dude, Mahomes is good. Dude.
What are we talking about here, bro?
Mahomes is good, man. I'm just telling you, Ben's gonna have a great year.
Okay, all right. That's either here nor there. So you had Aaron Rodgers pretty low.
Where'd you have Ben? Right? You had him 5?
No, I had him at 7. I have him behind Breeze and Brady.
So you have him at the bottom of that. Would you agree it's like 7?
7.
Like
7.
Those top 7.
The top 7 could legit be top 5 any year. It's just when I look at all the other quarterbacks up there, Ben is the one that's coming off of injury. He's the one that missed the time. Everybody else had really good seasons. People think about this, right? We talked about when you break it down with Tom Brady, people would say, well, he was washed last year. His numbers were still good. He still made stuff without nothing.
Dude, I was trying to tell people, man.
No, I agree with that. So that was the thing with Brady. I'm like, his numbers were still there. Aaron Rodgers, people talk about Aaron Rodgers like he had a terrible year. This man threw for, 26 touchdowns and 4 picks? Like, dude, you talk about efficient. He was crazy efficient and still was right at that 4,000 barrier for passing yards. Took his team to what the NFC Championship game. So when you look
clutch moment in the Seahawks game, little fade ball to Adams.
Right. So my thing is this. I'm like, when I look at Aaron Rodgers, I'm like, yeah, he has to be up there because he was super efficient. And you know me, I love efficient quarterback play. I'm not a big fan of the gaudy turnovers, because if that's the case, Jameis Winston would be high on this list because he did similar to what Ben did the one year when Ben led the league in he led the league in passing yards, but he led the league in passing attempts and he led the league in interceptions as well, right? With Jameis threw for 5,000. Jameis threw for 33 touchdowns, but Jameis still had 30 picks. That's way too many turnovers.
That's double the picks though. The thing with the Ben picks though, I think there's some type of stat out there that
listen. We can make excuses for it. There's still interceptions, man.
Leading the league in picks that year was like the least amount of picks over the past however many years. Like that was like the lowest number to lead the league in picks in however many years. He just got caught at a bad time.
Still threw too many picks for me. when I look at some of these other guys who are having single-digit interception seasons, that's what I want from my elite quarterbacks.
Well, I'm predicting that though too.
Well, I hope so too, because when's the last time he had that? That's the real question. It's been a while.
He's had some years.
Yeah, so for me, man, I'm when he can get it down to single digit and still have those 25 plus touchdown passes, without a doubt, yes. But until then, that's going to be the biggest knock. We could talk about passing yards because, hey, man, any of these dudes could light it. If you're over the 4,000 passing yard mark, 4,000, 4,500, that's the elite club. We know that. That's what you're supposed to average year in a yard if you're a top tier quarterback. Then from there, it's okay. What is your completion percentage? All right. What is your touchdown to interception ratio?
Throw QBR in there, maybe.
Yeah, you could throw the QBR in there. Absolutely, yeah. But those are the big things when we're talking about quarterback play that really hold the most weight. And then obviously we could talk about the clutch moments in terms of the last minute or 2 minutes of a half, last 2 minutes of a game. You know what I mean? Is he trailing? Can he come back and things on that nature? But even with that stat, I've sent you stuff before, man, where it's like, well, we talk about Aaron Rodgers, but Ryan Tannehill has fourth quarter comebacks that are, and that's why it's like we always got to be careful with just
because
isolating one particular
Rodgers
thing.
Throughout some of his career with the Packers, they had a stretch of like 3 or 4 years where I think they went 15-1 one year. They were constantly winning at a really good clip, and I guess they just didn't need fourth quarter comebacks.
Whereas you look at a guy like Russell Wilson, who typically excels in those moments, but they're trailing or in one score games a lot more. Right. So that's why it's always like you still just got to be a little careful when we're talking about those type of moments.
Even though it wasn't some type of crazy comeback last year, it was the Seahawks Steelers game.
Absolutely. We watched it before our eyes,
but that's like really low key. Like,
yes,
it's just so common that all right, they're down and he's gonna find a way to just at least get them back.
We sat there and watched them have a 3rd and 15,
Dude,
and we're just like, "Are you for real right here?" And then he ends up winning the game, and that's the type of stuff where game in and game out he does that. You're just like, that wasn't flashy. It's not a headline, but it counts.
The funniest one though was the him and Rodgers in the one. Was it the NFC Championship? I think in 15 or 16, where the guy missed the onside kick.
Oh yeah. He missed it twice. Didn't he miss it twice?
I can't remember.
I thought he missed it twice. That's what ended up cutting him after that joint too, man.
It might have been twice. I don't know if it was once or not. But what's funny is like that is all credited to Russell on the comeback and all this. But if the dude just catches the ball, Rodgers is in the Super Bowl.
A team sport, man. But
still, that is definitely something to be said, to be able to at least get your team in that position where maybe a mistake can be made on the other side to where you can advance to the Super Bowl.
Think about the game. If this would have been the second time. No. This would have been the first time Seahawks-Niners played last year. It was like Monday night game. Remember how like crazy it was? Yeah. And like you're just seeing Russell just find ways to bring it on back. He's like,
49ers was, I think at the time. Yeah, they were talked about being the best team in the league. And Seahawks were, I forget what their winning percentage was, but they were
good, but they weren't viewed like that.
They were like 5-2 at the time or something like that. But yeah, dude, I got him 3. Where do you have him?
I'm at 2.
You have him at 2?
Okay. I feel like our top, honestly, you take away Ben, our top 6 is pretty much identical, one spot away. I had Breeze at 6. Where did you have Breeze at?
I think 6. You had
6. And then I had Brady at 5. We
just have him and Lamar flip.
Yeah, I had Brady at 5, Lamar at 4. Because I said Lamar coming off the MVP season. Lamar,
understood.
I mean, the touchdowns, the yardage, the efficiency, everything he did was on par with that. Whereas we can't agree that Brady, even though it's not, he didn't have a terrible year, he did take a step back from what we are accustomed to seeing with Brady. So that was the reason why I had him at 5. But like I said with Aaron,
but I guess the argument for me is like, all right, I think Brady's gonna have a really good year down in Tampa, and I'm not saying Lamar's not. I'm just a believer in Brady.
No, I agree 100%.
So with Lamar, it's like, can he just keep this up?
Right.
If he keeps it up, then move him up a couple spots.
Yeah. And then obviously with Russell Wilson and Mahomes, I just felt like Russell is just a fantastic football player. I mean, we were just talking about him right there, just from. He keeps that team going. If he's not out there, that team doesn't have a chance. They're not like Pittsburgh, where Pittsburgh lost Big Ben last year, and they still were sitting above 2 games above 500 with 3 games left, because from a team standpoint, they just have really quality players out there. The quarterback position ultimately was their Achilles heel those last 3 games, but they still they shocked a lot of people, including us. Whereas a team like Seattle, if Russell's not out there, they're not built like that where they can just still find ways to win, still find ways to be in these games. Russell is the biggest reason why they have any chance in any game. So that's why I had to have him at 2. And then with Mahomes right now is in a class by himself. We look at what he's done his 2 years of being the full-time starter, And we've not seen anything like this. You talked about
Mahomes
Ben.
is awesome, man.
Yeah, and the thing is this, right? You talked about Ben that first year he came into the league and how he ultimately helped lead this team and things on that nature, right? It still was not anywhere close to the level of what Mahomes was doing his first year. We know with Ben, even that first year, we talked about how it was debates of, okay, is he a game manager, like kind of like the Russell Wilson narrative, or can he be the leader? Because at the time, the defense was the key at the time. You know what I mean? We said, hey, man, Steelers defense is what sets the tone. When Mahomes came in the league, man, and he took over, it wasn't can the Chiefs defense carry Mahomes? It was, Mahomes is lighting the league on fire. He's carrying that defense, which was trash at the time. And he went head to head with Brady in the AFC Championship game. And if it wasn't for Julian Edelman, did he touch it? Did he not touch it on the punt? And then the lineup in the neutral zone, with was that D Ford? Was it D Ford? Yes.
I forget who it was.
Yeah,
but
it was D Ford.
Brady threw it to Gronk, clanged off Gronk's hands, and the dude picked it. Yeah.
And D Ford was lined up in the neutral zone. And then, like I said, the other one was the punt where Julian Edelman was like about to touch it. And the replay, can't tell.
I didn't think he touched it.
I didn't think he touched it either, but it was still just kind of tough to tell. But I think whatever call you make in the moment, you just kind of got to ride with it in those type of scenarios. But that's what Mahomes did his first year. Then his second year, he comes back and sets the league on fire.
Mahomes. I like Mahomes, man.
And then you talk about an it factor, right? The clutch moments in the Super Bowl. We said it came down between Jimmy Garoppolo missing the throw and him making that crazy throw to Tyreek Hill. And that was the difference in that game, man. He was trailing. He trailed in every game of the playoffs by double-digit points.
Whole moments were clutch.
Yeah, and still found ways to win.
And even in the loss versus the Patriots the year prior.
Oh, he still balled out.
No, he did. Well, he was having a bad first half. He balled out in the second half. And from what I remember is the Patriots have the go-ahead score. Was there less than a minute left? I can't remember. But I'm thinking, all right, the Patriots somehow do it again. Brady pulls out the final drive. But Mahomes comes back and he leads them down for a field goal to take it to overtime. So I was impressed with that. Even aside from him winning the Super Bowl this year and the crazy run, like even that showed me something to where, all right, he dueled with Brady and did
absolutely,
awesome.
man. So
I'm big on Mahomes, dude. I'm with you.
That's my thing. That's why I have him at number one, and I think his clear cut because like Russell is close. Russell's at 2, but it's a clear cut gap with Mahomes and everybody else because what he's been able to do is a reason why he got the contract that he's gotten. It's a reason why his team has been as successful as they have. And the thing too is this: we can talk about look at the weapons he has. Remember, Alex Smith had those same weapons. Alex Smith had a Tyreek Hill, as Mahomes. Alex Smith had those same weapons, and that's why I always say like. We can use the weapons, in terms of when you want to critique and evaluate and compare this guy to that guy. But then when I see it where, okay, this is the perfect scenario where we've seen those weapons with the Alex Smith and we've seen those open with Patrick Mahomes night and day. So that's the biggest reason, too, why when people try to knock Ben and they're like, well, Ben had this guy, that guy, and that guy. It's like, whoa, man. It's not necessarily that if you have these guys, you're going to light it up the way that they did because there's been times we talked about when Landry came in. It still didn't move the same way from an offense standpoint. We talked about when Vic came in, it looked different.
Yeah,
man.
How many receivers have we gone through in Pittsburgh where Ben's always a consistent factor? We're always in contention for Super Bowls year in and year out.
Yeah.
I do think Mahomes is that good too. Like no matter, I think we've had this conversation before. Like no matter who he's got down there,
he's gonna be fine.
He's gonna make it happen, man. And dude, I think I get why you got your list as you do. I would be a jackass or an idiot to try to say, oh wow, you're completely out there because I get it. But I'm big on Ben this year, and I think he's gonna have a great year.
I see. Now you had 8 through 10. You had Cam Newton.
No, I had
you had Cam Newton, Wentz, and Deshaun Watson at 8, right?
Yeah.
So you didn't have Matt Ryan up here.
No, I'd have him at
okay.
I'd have him at like 11, 12. Like your next tier is like Matt Ryan, Stafford. I'd put Stafford over Matt Ryan. I'd put Stafford at 11 for sure. Stafford, Matt Ryan.
Okay.
And then what do I have here?
Because you got like Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins, Jimmy G, all those guys.
Then it's Dak because Stafford at 11, Ryan at 12. What I say? I said Dak is like that 13, 14 range for me. So that would make sense.
Even though he's coming off of 4,900 passing yards.
Although I was saying I do think Kyler's going to have a better year than Dak. But, Dak definitely has the better body of work. So maybe I'd give him the nod here on this day, but I think in the past I said I'd give it to Kyler, but whatever. Yeah. Between 13 and 14, that's kind of where I have it. Then the next tier is probably you got like Tannehill, Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you'd throw Darnold on that.
I would throw like Jared Goff in there. He's been to a Super Bowl.
dude, from that point, it's just like
a
I think
weird
that's
tier.
that's a
That's
tier
like
of
the
like
15 through like 20 range.
maybe even 25, 23. Like there's a lot of guys in there. Garoppolo, I guess you could toss in there too. Kirk Cousins.
Because see, for me, the way I looked at it like this, right? I have the reason I had Matt Ryan above Stafford because number one, Matt Ryan still had a really good season last year. He's super consistent. He's never going to be great. He's just going to be really good every year. But he played the whole time where Stafford's coming off injury, similar to the situation to Ben. So out of respect, that's why I still have him in my top 10 because I know when healthy, he's right in that same tier with the Matt Ryan.
Yep.
Then my next group of guys, I had Dak Prescott, Carson Wentz, Kirk Cousins, and Jimmy G. I feel like they're all kind of lumped in there together. Depending on
what about Rivers? We forgot about him.
No, I didn't forget about Rivers. I personally, I mean, for me, thought that last year in particular was different than Ben and Stafford because at least with Ben and Stafford, you have the unknown of, okay, was it just injury? Were they going to fall off a cliff? What was going to happen? You don't know. Benefit of the doubt says, look at the body of work. With Phillip Rivers, he was the opposite. Instead of getting injured, he played the whole time. So it's kind of like with Eli Manning, where it's like you get a chance to see it week in and week out, and you're just like, no matter how much you want to think back on the good times, you're constantly reminding of what's going on week to week. So that's my issue with him. So that's why I didn't have him in that next tier. Now
you got him in the Tannehill range.
Yeah,
right?
So literally that next wave of guys, I had like Tannehill, Josh Allen, Phillip Rivers, Jared Goff, and then I didn't have Baker there because I felt like Baker is still too wishy-washy.
You got all these tiers. Did you list them all?
No, I didn't. I just know in my head like I have. I don't have to write them all out. Like
I was gonna say, I thought you did the extra work.
Nah. But for me, man, I'm always thinking about it because just when we have these conversations of like how I evaluate a guy, what do I think of this player versus that player? So that's the biggest thing with that. And yeah, because I thought about putting Dak in the top 10. I was like, personally, I think that his body of work speaks very highly from an individual standpoint and a team success standpoint. I like him a lot more being a 4th round pick versus some of the guys who are first rounders. I always feel like it's a lot easier when you're a first rounder just because the amount of opportunities you're going to get, the commitment from the organization. I mean, you think about and the reason why we always talk Carson Wentz and Dak Prescott is because, just draft class and everything like that, right? But with Carson Wentz, once he was drafted there as a first round pick, we knew, okay, Philly was going to adapt to him. They were going to bring in pieces for him, specifically for him, to make sure this offense is tailored to make Carson Wentz be his best self. When Dak Prescott was drafted in Dallas, that was not the expectation at all.
That team was stacked, though.
No, they were, but this is what I'm saying. The team wasn't built for Dak. They weren't bringing pieces in specific to Dak's skill set. We talk about with Lamar Jackson, right? When Lamar took over, that next year, what did they do? They didn't just say, oh, well, this team is stacked with talent. No, they got pieces specific for Lamar's traits. They said, we're going to get tight ends and running backs. We don't need these receivers that's running all these routes because that's not Lamar's game. We want these type of players is custom just for him. That didn't happen for Dak. Dak has made the best of the scenario, but that offense was not built for Dak. That offense was built for Romo. We talk about even with Russell Wilson. Now they're trying to adapt to him and bring those pieces in. But remember, before it was Russell Wilson, it was set up for Flynn. For Matt Flynn, who came over from Green Bay. Remember, he had the 2 games where he came in garbage time, or not garbage time, but the game that doesn't matter, end of the year, and
Lions,
he lit it up. Yeah, and then from there, the Seahawks brought him over, paid him nicely.
I remember.
So when I think of that, because at the time, I think it was Flynn. I think they had Tavares Jackson on the roster at the time, RIP to him. And then they drafted Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson took over. The offense was not custom to him. So that's why for me, anytime I see these mid-round guys, late-round guys, Kirk Cousins, for example, another guy, the offense was built for who? RG3. What did Kirk Cousins do? He came in, made the best of the situation, and made himself into a nice career, made a ton of money. At the time, people were looking at like they were crazy when Washington had drafted him. Like, why you draft him when you got RG3 in the first round? What you doing?
Yeah, I definitely remember that. But they didn't have a competent backup. And it worked out for them because RG3 was getting hurt, you know.
Yeah, well, think of RG, not his first year. First year, RG3, rookie of the year, he looked great.
But that's what I mean, to at least have a backup like that who's been in the system, and he did pretty good at Michigan State from what I remember. And then he came on and you're right, made a lot of money, man.
Yeah,
made a lot of money. He's put up stats now. Whether I like him in.
He's won big games in the playoffs too, man.
Man, I mean, what? Did he win one when he was down in Washington?
I can't remember. Look. I just think about the recency standpoint, going on the road, beating the Saints in overtime, walk-off fashion. That's a big moment. That's clutch. That's effect. That's all the other things you want to throw out there and stuff like that.
I'll give him 15 or 16. Yeah. The one thing, actually, I wanted to.
That's what I'm saying too. I'm not putting him in. I ain't say he's a top 10 guy.